Bluff City Media presents the No Bluffing Podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Christian Ingram and Evan Hayes. Now, let's get to the show.
Grizz Nation, what's going on? I am Chris Ingram.
And I am Evan Hayes.
And this is the No Bluffing Podcast, where we keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way honest about everything Grizzlies, man. Welcome back to another episode. Hopefully this ain't the last episode of the year, man. Hopefully it ain't.
Not.
Hopefully we tapped in
Hopefully
next
not.
week with y'all, man. That's what I hope and pray for sure.
Yep.
We're going to definitely get into all that good stuff for sure today, man. But Evan, what's going on with you, my boy? How you feeling?
Well, y'all can see I look a little different. I don't know if it's coming off to y'all, but shout out Kenny Stubblefield for giving me a webcam. Now, you know, I'm trying to step up my production game. So if I look a little different, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know how y'all like it. But now the week was good. We both were in the city of Memphis this past weekend.
Yes, sir.
And I did not know, but had an off week. So I went to the Grizzlies game against the Timberwolves on Thursday. Unfortunately, we did not win that game. But then all the time just being with the fam, just real low-key, just helping things around the house. So just, you know, a cool little weekend. The week was cool. So, you know, got 3 more weeks of the semester, so I'm trying to finish strong. And that's all I got, bro. How was you? How was your time back at home? How's the week going? How the fam doing? Let me know what's up.
Man, it was good, man. Just always good to just come home and kind of refresh a little bit, you know, tap into your roots, you know, I guess in a sense. And get that refresh and get back to the grind, man. So it was always good to do that. It was so funny, bro. I was finna go to the last game of the year. I was finna go ahead and buy them tickets for the Grizz and Mavs game. And luckily, after a long day of being out with the family and running errands, doing that kind of stuff, man, I checked good old Grizz PR, and they let me know that, boy, if you buy them tickets, you crazy as hell. Because they said everybody was sitting. I said, nah, I ain't gonna do that to myself. So it was definitely an exciting game. I still got to catch the second half of it on Sunday on TV. So, you know, it was all good, even though nobody played as far as the main guys. But other than that, man, I can't complain at all. At this point, I guess, you know, only thing I can complain about is we in the situation that we in. Shout out to King Meeks. He is definitely feeling how I feel. I hate that we even about to be talking about this tonight. But, boy, I'm glad you got some pants on. You know how they be doing them remote works? They be
I'm trying to get used to this webcam, bro. I'm trying to see if I'm even. I look off. So yes, I do have pants on, everybody. I just want to make sure it's looking cool. But I'm gonna stop playing with it. Like,
you gonna show something you ain't trying to show on TV, man. You better watch out there.
We'll get demonetized so damn fast, bro.
Real quick, man. Real quick. Appreciate you, King Meeks, for the show, tapping in with us, man. Make sure y'all let us know where you at, what you got going on, how you feel about all these topics that we talk about today. We are live on X and Twitter. X and YouTube at the same time tonight because we didn't record on Sunday as we normally do. Again, we was traveling and everything like that. So, yeah, man, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to get in and out of this thing tonight because obviously we definitely got to talk about this whole play-in situation that the Grizzlies have found themselves in. If you have been under a rock the last 48, 72 hours, then you know or don't know that the Grizzlies have unfortunately went from second in the West all year and just kind of just snowballed until now ended up with the 8th seed in the West and are unfortunately going to be in the play-in this coming Tuesday. I will say I'm excited for this game. I hate the situation, kind of like King Meek said earlier. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just need that your blood to boil a little bit. You need some blood pressure up to just kind of get some things to change. Pressure definitely does make diamonds. So, you know, that I'm excited to see what's going on, man. But just kind of talk about, Evan, from your viewpoint, bro, of what has happened over the last week since the last time that we discussed everything. Because we did say on last episode we would know where we were sitting at. I wouldn't have bet that we would be sitting at 8, playing a 7-8 play-in, even though, you know, it was an opportunity for us to be 7. It's the same game, but at least we would have had home court in that situation if we were 7. When you realize what was going down, bro, what was your mindset and how you feel about it right now at this point?
First of all, I want to say I also agree with King Meeks. I've never liked to play in, even even though it's been a fan to us, it's been good to us because we've been to play in twice and we've not made one and we have made out the other one. I don't like that the NBA is awarding mediocrity. Like, I don't feel like the 9 and 10 seed should have opportunity. They haven't even won 40 games. They have opportunity to be in the playoffs. Like, I hate that. I personally don't think. Like, I was cool with the whole 1 through 8 setup. I get why they had to do it, like to make the end of the season more exciting and all that. But I personally don't like it, no matter how many times we're in. Hopefully, we're not in a lot, but I just put that out there. Came 40, 42. Oh, I'm looking. I can see the comments now. Let me not get sidetracked. I can actually read the right now. That's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, when I found out where we're going to be seeding, I was disappointed, but kind of like you said, very excited. I believe with the Warriors getting lined up against, I felt that was our best bet to get into the playoffs, and we're going to be lined up with Houston if we win that game, like I think we are. I feel like that's kind of the best draw we could have got. I was very disappointed that we didn't take care of business against the Timberwolves, being that I was at that game too. I feel like that was a very winnable game. But I just feel like down the stretch, we didn't execute the proper way and didn't get from what we needed from the guys that we needed. I also had to shout out Jalen Wills for unfortunately being injured in this past week, and we really missed his presence. I'm glad Jalen is doing better.
Happen this week. Good God.
Yeah, it did this week. So I had to special shout out Jalen Wills for making a recovery. I can't think we win this. I need to start reading the comments. I'm not doing that. Anyway, I gotta get used to that. Focus, man. But yeah. Shout out Jalen Wills, shout out Fred Wills for giving us updates. So I was mad, but I'm also optimistic for what we can do. I still believe in this team. I still believe in this coach that we have. T.I. has still shown me better things than we had previously with TJ. So I'm excited for what we can do. I feel like we're going to go to Golden State and pick a win. Golden State has had arguably a rougher last 13, 15 games than us. Like, they've been on a very, very rough road to get into the play-in. Also, Jimmy Butler, he kind of banged himself up. Steph is dealing with a thumb injury. Like, I feel like they had 4 road games in the season before the last game at home. So they're probably gonna be a little dead. And they played against the Clippers on Sunday. We rested our guys on Sunday. So I feel like we got the best person possible. I feel like we're gonna come well rested with a focused mindset. Like Jaren Jackson Jr. said, today is going to be an all-out war. I just hope the rest of the team has that mentality. So I'm excited. I wish you weren't in this position, but you got to make chicken salad out of chicken S word. And I feel like we got a good chance of going to the first round and upsetting Houston in the first round.
Yeah, I was sitting there trying to check while you was talking to see if maybe Warriors PR had put out any type of injury report or anything like that. I'm definitely interested to see if Jimmy was going to be a game time decision or anything like that.
But he's going to play. He just may be banged up.
Yeah, I don't see anything posted on their end. So sound like to me he good to go. I don't see nothing on the Grizzlies end either, which is odd. It's been past 5 o'clock Central Time. So they didn't post anything today either. Maybe they ain't supposed to do that on the play-in schedule. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, man. I definitely I feel where you're coming from in that regard. It's just crazy, bro. It's really unfortunate how, like, a lot of those games that we talked about early in the season being like, it shouldn't even have been a conversation that we would have went out there and win a lot of those early games that we've been talking about, the Nets games, the Bulls game, and then let's not even get on that 3-game stretch where we literally gave up the game at the very last moment and didn't like that. When you look at it like that, bro, that's 6.
We could have been a 56-win team.
Those are 6 wins that we should have minimum. That's not even talking about some of the other games throughout the year that we've like, okay, dang, we got close. We maybe should have pulled those out. And I'm cool with those type games. But the games that you I don't even want to say you mark on the calendar, but you had no business even struggling or losing those games. I was listening to somebody. It may have been, I think it was Gary Parrish. Shout out to Gary Parrish.
Shout out GP.
Man, the way that he kind of puts things in perspectives and breaks it down is always dope to me. And I think it was him that was talking about this morning where, like, if you just would have won 3 more games this year, just 3 more, you would have damn near been a lock for the 3rd seed. If you win those 6, I ain't even checked the record, but are we tied with Houston? Are we close to Houston if we get 6 more wins? What's their record right now?
Houston, I believe, won 53 games. Let me look real quick. Houston won 52 games. So we won those 6. So we went 48 and 34. Correct.
Oh, so we the second seed in the West if we win those 6 games, bro.
We second seed in the West. We're tied with Houston. And let's not even talk about if we win those Houston games, because those Houston games were like 1-point games, 3-point games. We may mess around and be the 2 seed legitimately. Like, we may look at a 53, 55, 56 win season.
But that's what I'm saying. Those 6 games, we won 48. That puts you at 54. That's automatic second seed.
Yeah, that's 54. Yeah.
We ain't nobody's catching OKC, but like, come on, bro. Like, that's just insane to me that we even have to worry about the situation. If we would have took care of business, and he said it, bro. Like, I can't disagree with anything GP said this morning in regards to this franchise did not take the regular season seriously. And shout out to 3 the Hardaway. I don't know who's on the account tonight. Maybe my boy Savage. We talked about this on No Bluffin like 2 summers ago about how everybody was up in arms about us consistently getting the second seed. And that's cool, that's cute, but we was of the mind frame of, bro, just get in. Like, if you were a top 4, top 5 seed, that's really all that matters, because you hopefully have been playing, meaningful basketball, and you've kind of figured out ways to win games. Your guys are healthy, and you go into the playoffs and handle business. And by no means did I mean to go into the postseason in the play-in. Like, this is insane. And not only are you in the play-in, 9-10 is kind of crazy that that's even a thing, but I guess I understand it. But I mean, the fact that you still got to go out here and win 1 game minimum, I'm kind of on both sides of that situation, bro. But to kind of talk about what King Meeks is saying, he's saying he think we can win against this team. I do believe that they go out there and take care of business, that we can't come out on the other end, because we did just play Steph a couple of weeks ago where he put up a 52-pointer against us, literally an all-timer on his career, and they barely got out of that game. If Ja looks like he's been looking, Desmond Bane looks like he's been looking, and we go get, I know we talked, or at least I did, brought up last week about Jaren. If we can get him back to vintage early in the season, Jaren Jackson, it will be great to have you back, bro, for at least the last however many games we got in this season. I don't worry about it, even with Jalen Wells down, even with BC down, because if you're going to pay them guys close to $1 billion, I've talked about it on here before, they should be able to go out there and take care of business if they're worth the money that you say they should be getting. So I will say, they touch on, I don't know if you saw me make a face, bro, when you said about Jaren's quote, and I ain't trying to be on him like that. I promise I'm not, but like that quote that he had about it being all out war, just be a man of your word. That's all I gotta say. Like, don't say that to the media. Don't be like Santi, say a bunch of shit, and then we go out there and it's literally not showing what we're talking about. Because when you say all out war, that means to me personally that I'm seeing guys diving on loose balls. I'm seeing guys, and particularly you, Jaren, not moping, not complaining, not down and out. You're literally gonna leave it all out on the floor. And that's the one thing, guys, you can always control. Like, we talk about why the grit and grind teams, they mean so much to the city. Like, they never won a championship, but we will literally hold them guys to the highest regard for the rest of the time. The reason is because they went out there and bust their ass every single time they played. And whether the results were, friendly to us or not, we can respect that. But when you go out there and you moping and you crying and you flopping and you doing this, you doing that, and you come out and say something clever in the media, it's like, bro, that right there, the city don't identify with that.
The actions don't line up, bro.
Yeah. And we're not telling you to be grit and grind, but if you're gonna say some stuff like that, I'm just telling you, we need to see that, because 9 times out of 10, you giving that type of effort. I was talking to Candy on Twitter about it earlier. Like, if you give effort most of the time, especially if you got that kind of talent, you're probably gonna come out in the win column, bro. But if you out there kind of, pussyfooting around, like, it's just, I'm sorry. Like Santi the other night, I tweeted about, everybody saw it. I ain't saying like I saw something nobody didn't. Bro, it was a time in that that Denver game where he literally could have just dove on the ground and get a loose ball to save. Like, we was needing to save possession at the end of that game because we'd already gave up the lead. And he wanted nothing to do with getting any type of physical with that team, bro. And it just was like, this ain't winning basketball at all, dog. Like, you got to be out there willing to go for it, and you can't even dive in the ball that's in front of you in your vicinity to try to save a possession. I'm not taking you seriously, and nothing that you say seriously. Like, please get the microphone out of Santi Aldama's face for the rest of the year until he proves that he's worth even listening to. And that's what I don't want to feel that way about Jaren. So I need him to literally come out there tomorrow, bro. I mean, you're going to have a mismatch. You're going to have advantages. Take advantage. Get your team out of this playing situation so we can go ahead and focus on the Rockets. I think we might be able to get them dudes. We might be able to get them. Let's go ahead and go to some comments real quick. We got Three the Hard Way said Jaren got to get engaged in the game again. Man, he definitely has been coasting.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Like, am I tripping when I? Yeah, I want you to tell.
Nah, I feel like it's a combination of a few things. Number one, I feel like it was TJ's firing. I feel like I don't feel like.
How do you think that? Because I've heard that narrative, and I'm like, was he that damn close to Jenkins to where like because he was playing, he low key been tapped out since he got back from that injury. That's the only reason I'm not really understanding that narrative.
The only reason I say that. The only reason I say that is because when you listen to all the guys talk about him before he got fired, I feel like Jaren spoke the most high of him. Like all the guys like Ja and Dez are like, oh yeah, he's our guy and all that. But Jaren went extensively of like why TJ's coaching predicated to him being successful he is. Like he gives TJ a lot of credit. Like in the media input, you can find the quotes of why Jaren has become Jaren. I'm not gonna act like I know Jaren personally. He could just be saying that to be nice, but when you compare what he's saying to a lot of the other guys, it just seems like it's a little different. No matter if they had a personal relationship, but at least on the basketball floor, I feel like he gives TJ a lot of the reasons of why he's been as successful as he has. He's been an all-star, deport. We know everything that he's done, but I feel like he gives TJ a lot of that credit. And I feel like this could be an outward connection, and you can tell if I'm wrong or not. Jaren came from a Tom Izzo coaching system. So you know how Tom Izzo has a relationship with his players, and he gave Tom Izzo a lot of credit into why he was a top 5 draft pick. I feel like just Jaren sees his coaches he holds them to a high regard, as any great player should. So I feel like that's a small connection right there. Number 2, of course, the injury. I feel like he came back to injury a little too early, but that's just my personal opinion because he wanted to reach the 65 game limit to get the depot and to get an all-NBA 1, 2, or 3, but because of that, I feel like he's been pressing because since the team's been falling for standings, I feel like he's probably seen like I may not get the depot, I may not get all NBA, so I'm missing out on a $40-50 million extension. So I feel like all that mental battle in his head has been making him either energy high some games, energy low other games, and honestly, he needs to let all that stuff go. It's the play-in now. All that stuff doesn't mean anything. The awards are already accounted for. He needs to go and hoop. So if he's, as you said, his quotes lines up with his actions, I feel like he'll be fine. But am I 100% confident that he will do that? No, because I'll go over what I've seen. There's some games generally at the best player on the floor, and some games, at least lately, he's looked like he's been disengaged and has been tapped in, like Three the Hardaway said. So that's my opinion. I don't know if I'm completely right, but I feel like I am. So it's just a lot of difference. So also, I feel like the emergence of this is a smart last time, so I'm gonna say it really quick. I feel like since Ja's playing like Ja now, I don't feel like Jaren, which has been a problem since his tenure has been here. He doesn't know how to be him when Ja is being Ja. Like Dez, he can figure out how to play with Ja. Like that's all. Like no matter what, no matter if Ja's going for 40 or going for 15, Dez is gonna give you his 18 to 25 a game. I don't remember a lot of instances in the playoffs and regular season where Jaren has been on 10 at the same exact time Ja's on 10. And I feel like with the coaching change, with Ja elevating his play, Jaren is kind of, I don't want to say intentionally, but maybe unintentionally taking a backseat, and he's trying to find his spots again when he should just be playing like he's been playing the whole year because he has a top 5, top 3 point guard in the world that knows how to get him the ball in the proper situations. So I feel like it's a combination of a lot of things, my guy, honestly. Still muted.
My bad. I think the most frustrating thing for me, bro, is like, and we talked about it here before, so we ain't got to go too deep into it, but like, he's taking a lot of the same shots that he was taking early on in the year. 2 things are happening that wasn't happening early in the year. The intensity, and he's just not making the easy floaters and layups and whatever he was doing like he was. And so if that goes back, because like even the example we were talking about, I hopped into shout out my boy Parlay on X. He does like a day after the next day type of space, and I try to hop in when I can. And they were talking about, you know, some of the things that happened in the game. And I said, bro, like in that, I believe it was a Denver game, like when you get almost 90 points I can't remember if it was Denver or the Timberwolves game, but when you get almost 90 points from your core three, like typically on paper, that's enough to win you a game as long as your role players are getting you additional.
I think
it was a Denver.
Yeah, because Minnesota, because they both had 20 plus against Minnesota, and we just got outscored in the third quarter. So it was definitely Denver.
See, I didn't watch the Denver game. I don't think it was that one.
Yeah,
it had to be before. It was the one before. Yeah, it was the one before. It was the
because I was at the Timberwolves game. Right? They combined for 90 at Timberwolves game.
Yes. It was like maybe 3. It was like 3-4 points off. It may have been 87.
I'm gonna look. Just keep talking. I'm gonna look.
Typically when you get 90 points, shout out to our guy Kenny Stubblefield in the comments. Appreciate you tapping in, Kenny. He said, when is ever gonna give me my 1-versus-1 race? Kenny,
I race for bread, bro. I race for bread. We ain't racing for bread. I ain't racing.
I don't think none of us want that. I would have tried him probably about how long ago I had my speed? About maybe 7 years ago, maybe.
We do a BCM like special, like who can beat ever in the race. Whoever wins, they get like a prize.
You know damn well you about the youngest dude on the network. It don't even make sense. It'll be a waste of time. A waste of time. He said he get to ride his bike.
It depends on how much of a head start he get. How far we going? If we going like a 200, if we going like 100 or 60.
Oh yeah, he might have you on that one.
He may have, but,
on the bike.
We'll see. Anyway,
but bro, they was close to 90 points. Like if you get 90 points out of your three, like core three, at that point, like your role players got to step up and be of some kind of assistance. Because if you're getting close to 120 points a night, and granted, we know the defense has been one of the main issues. But if you're getting close to 3 points off from 90, like you gotta get more than 5 points from Santi Aldama, especially you looking for a payday, my guy. Like that's just not gonna work. Scottie Pippen Jr. has been doing this thing. I've already, said my apologies on that. I think he had like 17 that night or something like that. We gotta get some help from the bench, and that kind of goes to the question that let me go find it. King Meeks asked about where we at. And I want to kind of get your take on it. Who do you think going into the play-in? Hopefully we win this play-in game. But then, the remaining, games left in the playoffs, who you think should be that starting small forward for the Grizzlies?
I'm going to give my answer, and I'm going to give a caveat to my answer. I'm going to say Vince Williams because he has the most legit experience on this team and playing in important games. But from what I've seen,
what important games he done played in?
I'm just saying more important than Lamar Stevens. Like he's been on the roster more than Lamar Stevens. Like playing
not by much. You got to think Lamar came in about like January last year.
Yeah, because Vince didn't really play a lot last year until everybody got hurt.
Yeah, so he was on he been hurt majority of this year. So hey, them folks might not be too much far.
Yeah, when I really think about it. Okay, I'm still gonna stick with my answer. Because I kind of spoiled who's my second part of the answer already. But only I say Vince because he just has more reps on his belt. He don't got a lot more, but he has more reps, and he has, at least in his history being on the team, has shown more consistent play for the role that we need. Mm-hmm. But from what I've seen lately, Lamar Stevens giving that man a run for his money. It's fresh. I don't want to put so much like stake in the last game against the Mavericks because everybody was out, but I tweeted I wanted that to be a get right game for Gigi and Vince. And who looked the best out of that game was Lamar freaking Stevens. He had 31. On a game against that when you're playing the second string guys and third string guys for an opposing team, you just beat up on them. Like you need to make it easy. I'm the best player. I'm one of the best players on that floor. Yeah, Vince had 12-11, a solid game, but I just want to see more. I want to see him knocking down shots. I want to see him locking up the team, opposing player, causing havoc on the defensive end. And I just didn't see that like I saw with Lamar. I feel like if we get past the Warriors, it's Vince's spot to lose. But if he doesn't come on with it, I am more than happy giving that spot to Lamar Stevens because just with his body, he's bigger than Vince. He has more athleticism than Vince. Like playing against a Rockets team with a Dylan Brooks, a Amen Thompson, a Jabari Smith, like all Jalen Green, like all these young athletic. Well, Dylan Brooks isn't that young, but you get what I'm saying. Like all these young athletic wings, you have to be physical with it. And just looking at the tape, as they say in boxing, or who I'd rather take the 6'6". I want to say Lamar probably like 220 maybe of muscle. compared to Vince being 6'7", maybe 210, maybe, you know,
maybe 6'4", 6'5" on a good day.
But you see what I'm saying? And he just seems to be more physically imposed on the defensive end, because we don't need Vince to give me 20 points a game, but give me at least 10. I feel like within 10 to 15, I feel like with the same opportunity from what I've seen, I feel like Lamar can do that. There has been some games where Lamar does not want to shoot the ball, and I get that. There's some games he's looked the opposite way of the goal. There has been. But when he looks good, when they both look good, I feel like Lamar just looks a tad bit better when they look at their best. Is Vince spot to lose? But if he don't come on within game of 1 and 2, I'm doing a lineup switch and I'm putting Lamar in the starting lineup.
Yeah. Through the heart of what they agree with you saying is Vince by default. I'm gonna say this, man. For me personally, I said that after I finally got caught up on the game yesterday. And that's not the first time I said it. You can check my Twitter feed if you think I'm lying. Matter of fact, I was having arguments about Lamar Stevens last year. Folks were laughing at me about him having more of an impact on this team than Luke Kennard could if you gave him the consistent minutes. And look how the tables have turned. Like, who would you put in a game 365, days later from, when we was going through the situation we had last year? I'm saying Lamar, bro. And the reason being, I'm sorry, like Vince is we've given Vince enough time and opportunity to lock that spot in with what's been going on at the end of the year. And for me, like, he don't look right physically. Like, he's still been trying to, come back from that injury on that ankle. He don't look like the same Vince from last year. And when we're talking about what we need him to do, like, everybody's talking about who can we get to replicate what Jalen Wells is doing as far as guarding full court, chasing Steph around, or we got to, go against the Rockets chasing Jalen Green or chasing Shai Gilgeous-Alexander around. We don't have that guy at this point. And, you would imagine it would be Vince, but Vince is not the Vince from 2024, bro. He's just not. Like, so when you're talking about who can we put in there on a team that needs physicality, he checks that box. A team that you need somebody to play defense, him and Vince play defense, but again, he's not healthy. So he checks that box. We need somebody healthy. He checks that box. Athleticism, he checks that box. Size, he checks that box. Like, the dude, to me, it makes the most sense to put him out there at the 3, because with the starters, at the very least, he's not having to go out there and create. He can create if he needs to. Yeah. But with those other 4 guys, you're expecting him just to slash, move around, get open, play defense, catch lobs. And for which
is what he is very good at.
He's great at that. So why not put Vince on the bench? And if anything, I know Vince is probably a little bit better with the ball in his hand than Lamar is. Let's put him out there with Scotty, him, Santi, and whoever else you want to fill in the gap with spot minutes, maybe with Luke or maybe Bagley, something like that. I feel way more confident. It feels like a much more mature team, a much more legit basketball team with Lamar Stevens out there. And if you get past the emotions of Vince or, the politics of who got, guaranteed contracts and all of that, like, if we just trying to go on a run right now, I feel like he's the most fitted for that spot. Shout out to TJ. For me personally, he's a no. If he was healthy, I don't think none of us would even be, arguing about it, but he just don't look good. I want to get your thoughts on this. I saw EJ the Grindhouse Spaces on Twitter. He talked about this for the play-in game tomorrow. He would be of the mind frame of putting Scotty in the starting lineup. I am 100% okay with that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Why you got Jalen Wells out there? Why are you pushing for Jalen Wells to be there if he's healthy to chase Steph, right? Mm-hmm. Why not just go unleash the beast of Scottie Pippen Jr. and just say, look, you want to get this, you want to get a contract after this next one, go chase Steph around and save us from getting our ass murdered on the 3-point line tomorrow night. I have no problem with sticking that lineup out there to start the game. I ain't gonna hold you.
Before, because I just want to just back to Lamar Stevens, I want to pull up their stats real quick for the per 36 minutes, because we all know Vince Williams gets more minutes than Lamar Stevens, but I just want to try to do a 1-to-1. This year, Vince Williams per 36 minutes is 12.9 points, 0.5 blocks, 0.9 steals, 4.0 assists, and 7.1 rebounds. Okay, keep that in mind. For Lamar, 17.2 points, 0.7 blocks, 1.7 steals, 2 assists, and 8.8 rebounds. A 1-to-1. whose stats are better in the same 1-to-1 is Lamar Stevens. That's all I had to say on that because I wanted to. I knew I had it in my head. I just wanted to verify what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But back to this point, in essence, I see what y'all are saying. I like the SPJ, Ja, and Bane lineup. But the reason why I'm against it is because
I hate the lineup. when you just throw it out there, I hate that shit. I don't like the ring of it at all.
No,
but the context, I'm like, okay, makes sense.
I would throw that lineup out there in spot minutes. I'm not starting that lineup. I'm not. There's no way I'm starting that lineup with the first. I'll put that out for like a 5 to 10 minute stretch. Yes, I would do that. Just for the feel of the game, if the flow was going, all three guys are playing well. Yes, I would do it. But the reason why I would not do that, like to throw it out, because no matter how good Scottie Pippen Jr. is, like in defending, the Warriors are gonna pick on him because he's the smallest guy on the floor. They're gonna Draymond is smart enough, Jimmy Butler is smart enough, and Steph is smart enough to put him in as many pick and rolls and switches as possible to get a bigger guy on him. I just don't like that when it comes from the defensive side of it. Offensively, I don't hate it that much because to my wrong, Scotty's been doing a pretty good job playing with Ja. If I used to hate Scotty playing with Ja, but he's been playing pretty damn good. Dez, we know what Dez is gonna do, but I just feel like that's putting a lot of pressure on a bigger guy like Dez to make up a lot of that defensive liability that Scotty will be, not just from one-on-one defender aspect, but just on the size that's on the floor. Because look at those, all three of those guys are 6'4" and under, really 6'3", because I don't know how tall Dez is for real. If you look at the Warriors lineup, one-on-one, Steph is the smallest guy in their starting line, and everyone is 6'3" or taller.
Right.
Like, you just got to do a numbers game. If they Draymond not the tallest dude in the world, but he's bigger than Scottie Pippen Jr. Poku is not he's not a big guy, but he's still taller. Jimmy taller. Steph about the same height. Like, it's just I don't like it that much. But just from a stretch 5-10 minutes, like in the third quarter, in the second quarter, I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not.
I might even close with that lineup and make me pull Scotty type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, if he just getting torched, play him off. Like, prove to me. That's my thing with Edie. Like, prove to me that he can't stay on the floor. And I think that's another thing they're gonna have to really attack tomorrow too, is getting Edie involved to where
early.
Yeah, stop letting him get played off the floor. Like, no, dominate with him. That's fine. Y'all getting all these threes, bro. But I've always been of the mind frame. If we go down there and we shoot 5 threes and we only make 2, that's 6 points. If we go down there and make 4 2-pointers, that's 8 points. I want to take the guaranteed points, and then we'll figure out what we got to do at the end of the game. So I don't know. Kenny said having these two is the only option. Is low-key depressing. It's high-key depressing.
That's bad. It's not low-key about it.
It's high-key depressing. Like, that sucks. But at the end of the day, man, hey,
I'm looking at the stats of last time we did play the Warriors. Like, Edie had a pretty decent game. He had 10 points and 16 rebounds, 4 for 7. But if y'all remember, JD said, please start Lamar. I'm not against it, but Edie didn't play down the stretch of that game, which I feel like that was a very bad decision on T.I.'s part. Lamar Stevens, a DMP that game. Bagley, I feel like we should use Bagley in this playing game. Please, God, please put in T.I.'s name to play Bagley more. Santi had a pretty good game. He had 18. Luke Kennard had 22 minutes of cardio. And Jalen Wills only had 5. But the point I want to point out in this, we were in this game. I just feel like some just line up, switching, tweaking could put us over the top in this game to not have this game be as close as it probably will be. If you play Edie more down the stretch, play Bagley, play Lamar, I feel like we can match up with them and their speed and then getting up and down. I feel like we can match up with them a lot better than what they did last time. Because I doubt Steph's gonna go for 52. I'm gonna knock on wood because when I say that, he may go for 60 tomorrow. Like, I'm knock on wood.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you look back at that game, we were in that game a lot more than the score, because we lost by 9, but it was really like a 1-2 possession game throughout that whole time. I just feel like some tweaks in the lineup with adding these guys in line, like Lamar, using Edie more, using Marvin more. I feel like we got this game. Like, honestly, if we switch those little minute things, real talk.
So, kind of taking that what you were saying a little bit further, and we can kind of wrap it up on the play-in game. Trying to find the question here. Just because I wanted to end on this anyway. Where did it go? Where did it go, King Meeks? Good grief, I can't find it. Basically was talking about he didn't want to see Bang dribbling the ball ever again. Me neither.
I don't either. I don't
Pretty
either.
Hardaway
Not a hot
said
take.
they don't want to see Lucas Kennard again on the court.
Lucas is crazy.
I don't mind not seeing that either. What are some of the things that you just absolutely don't want to see and you need to see? Taking your answer, what you just talking about, a second ago, a step further. If these things happen, these things don't happen. I want you to kind of just elaborate a little bit more on that to win that game, to where we don't have to come back home and play the winner of that
Sacramento
9-10 matchup. Because I'm gonna be honest, bro, that's the one that really kind of scares me more than anything. You in a do-or-die game, probably more than likely against the Sacramento Kings, a team that rebounds way better than us.
And that beat us last time with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and all of them, and it wasn't a very close game either.
Yeah, I don't want that. That's a trap game that I don't even want to be a part of. So what are your non-negotiables with going into tomorrow's game where you like, okay, it's got to happen and this can't happen?
I'm gonna try to do 3-3, and you can let me know what you think. So number one, Jaren has to be Jaren.
Oh shit!
No, he ain't trailing. I mean, he's trolling. He's D'Angelo Quinn. No, sir.
No, he ain't trolling. If we lose to the Kings, do you know how much Jake is gonna talk?
Yeah,
he gonna be popping so much B-Rad Malibu shit on this time. Ooh, he gonna add Sang. He gonna add everybody that's done ever tweeted about. Oh, he's gonna rip us apart, and we're gonna have to accept it. So I just want to point that out. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna do 3-3. Number one, Jaren has to keep being Jaren, that's probably what is most important, but I'm least worried about. Jaren in his last like 10 to 12 games, averaging like over 32 points and like 7 assists and like 5 rebounds on 40% shooting from the 3-point line. I'm not worried about Steph. I'm not worried about Ja. Ja always gets up for Steph. I don't know what personal vendettas he got against Steph, but he does not like. Well, I'm not saying like on a personal level, well, at least on a basketball level. Oh my gosh, he does not like Steph Curry. So no one Ja has to,
his idols.
Yes. That's number one. Number two, Edie has to get going early and cannot be in foul trouble. I'm gonna do 2.5. Jaren and Edie cannot be in foul trouble because you saw that Minnesota game when Jaren and Edie both picked up them 4 fouls in the third quarter. That completely switched the game. Like watching that in person, like I knew it was coming. I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. We gave up 52 points in the third quarter, but our inside presence was completely non-existent. Yes, the Warriors don't live from the inside, but just not having that presence on the inside, it keeps your defense so vulnerable, and you cannot have that. So Edie has to be a dog. Like he has to be a 7-for-4 monster, which I feel like he can if T.I. continues to not have him on a leash and him and Jaren not getting in foul trouble. But you can put that in too. And my third one, it's hard to do the third one, but I'm gonna have to say it because I could say take care of the ball. I could say 3-point defense. I feel like that like goes without saying. My third one, kind of to your point, we need somebody else to go with the big three. I don't know who it will, but we need somebody else to have a big game. I don't care if it's Scotty, Gigi, Vince, somebody. Because as presently constructed, we can beat the Warriors if the big three is all on one. But history shows us we may not see that. We may have a good game by one of 2 great games and 1 subpar game. But just in case all 3 of them aren't on, we need somebody else to go because the Warriors always have one guy coming out of nowhere in the playoffs that just torches people. It was Gary Payne Jr. one series with them. He's not on the team anymore. Is Gary Payne Jr.
He's still there. I think
he's Gary Payne Jr. Yeah. Whether it be Kevon Looney getting 20+ rebounds, when they had Andrew Wiggins, he was like, they always have somebody else outside their core guys that puts that team over the top. We need the same exact thing. I don't know who, no matter is being disruptive defensive end, knocking down threes, just something to another X factor to put this team over the top. So those are my 3 we have to have. Things we can't have. We can't have Dez dribbling the ball too damn much. Dez, do not be a damn playmaker. I'm sorry, bro. Like, if I see another possession where you dribble the ball off your foot because you trying to go 1-on-4.
No, bro. Pause. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, you go
what
ahead,
the hell got into this MF for the other night when he had the audacity to throw a behind the back pass in a crunch game to Zach Edey? Like he already struggles catching the ball up high and down low. And your buff ass get down in a crunch time game and decide you're gonna do some soft ass and one Harlem Globetrotter ass behind the back pass. Like, bro, what is wrong with you, bro? Like, that's so unserious to me. That shit pissed me off so bad, bro. I said, I'm done with this game, bro. Like, that's very, very unserious, bro. Desmond Bain, get the ball. If you are not shooting the ball, bro, like, stop dribbling and stop passing. Like, just stop, bro. This shit is getting out of hand. And we do not have the time to play with this.
Not the time nor the place.
Bro. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I had to just because I've been meaning to just get that out for the last couple of days. Because, bro, what is wrong with you?
You gotta know your personnel. First off, why you doing behind the back pass in the fourth quarter with less than 4 minutes left?
The shit was ugly as hell. It was even if it would have got completed, it wasn't cool. Like, it was just ugly as hell. It didn't
look smooth at all.
Oh, like old school nigga. Look at me, young blood. Look what I can do.
Hey nephew.
What is that?
And then you're gonna pass this out of all people, Zach Edey on the move, like out of all people, Zach. Like, I love Zach. He just now getting right, just keeping the ball up and putting him. He's getting a little better, like a tad bit. He's getting some improvement on the move. You can't give the ball Zach. No, you can't do that.
Man, anyway. Coach Ixalo should have made that man run about 50 suicides after that game for that ugly ass pass. Don't do that no more, bro.
He would have said, "Nah, before we fly back to Denver, hey, Dez, you got 50
on the line.
Suicides. On
the line, bro.
Do not. Hey, we'll tell the plane to stop. Y'all is not get on this plane.
And you better bend down and touch the line with your hand too.
You better make the time. We got 26
behind the back. Touch it behind the back like you playing Twister. Freak ass.
Oh my god. Okay, okay. Let's go back in. So number one, Dez has to not try to be a playmaker because Dez, as much as I like Dez, how he's been playing lately, his turnovers has played us out of some games. It just has. Like, down the stretch, he has had too many crucial turnovers that has allowed us to get behind the games we can't get over the top. Mm-hmm. Number two, that can't happen. Jaren can't be loafing around. Like, there is no one on the Warriors, Draymond Green included, no matter how much he can campaign for him trying to be the depot when he shouldn't get it, he cannot guard Jaren one-on-one. When Jaren is locked in, there is no one on the Warriors team. Often a curse. Mess around, no one in the league can guard Jaren one-on-one. Expression on the Warriors team. You can throw Kevon Looney at him. You can throw Jimmy Butler at him. You can throw Draymond Green at him. You can throw Pies at him. It doesn't matter. No one on the team can guard Jaren. Like, in the post, they can't. I also don't need Jaren trying to do ISOs from the 3-point line. Like, bro, just get in the post, put your hand up, post hook. Come on. Like, Jaren over dribbles a lot. I don't know why did he start doing that all of a sudden. Like, him
last year.
Like, yes, that's true. But like, all these 1-4 sets for Jaren, like, I don't like that. Like, yes, can Jaren dribble better than the average 6'11" big man? But do I need him from the 3-point line doing an ISO with 15 seconds left on the shot clock? No.
And you wonder why they doubling you. Like, they got so much time and space to double you. Like, that's...
Yes, like, you're the biggest target on the floor. Of course, they're going to send two your way. And then you're throwing a grenade ball to somebody else to try to, like, save you in the last one. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. That's my number two. And my number three, which I feel like is the most important thing, and I just have to say it because we have a new coach. You can't get out coached. You have to have the right guys in the game at the proper time to be successful. Do I feel like T.I.'s done a pretty good job at that? Yeah, I would give him about a 7. I'll say about a 7. But there has been some games I'm like, why is Edey not in the game? Why is Josh on the bench? Like, there's been some games where he just keep guys on the bench too long and not have him in the game. Steve Kerr, as much as I think he's an overrated coach, he knows how to have guys in the game at the proper time. Like, Steve Kerr, 9 out of 10, isn't going to lose the Warriors a game because he doesn't have guys in the right position. You, T.I., as much as good as a coach I think you are with running the sets, you can't lose us in the game in the fourth quarter. The game is close. You got Ja Morant. We down by 7, and you got Ja on the bench with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We can't have it. Like, I get you have, like, your basic, like, framework of where you want guys to be and how guys should be out, but it's do or die. It's literally do or die. Like, as he said in the presser, there is no tomorrow. So, T.I., I know if you're listening, if someone on the bus can show T.I. this, do not lose us the game just off of simple rotations. On X and O's, I feel like he's great. I have no real complaints about him, like X and O, offensively or defensively. But my one complaint has been he still is figuring out who should be in the game at the proper times. if Luke not giving it to you, like I was so happy when he gave Luke a DNP against Minnesota. I was so happy.
What you said.
I was like, as he's finally coach grew some balls to sit Luke Kennard because he gave you he's giving you 20 minutes of cardio too damn much. Like I was happy to see that.
Truth be told, he should have played yesterday. He ain't earned no rest to me.
Yeah,
you should have been playing, my boy.
I agree with that. If Vince played yesterday, Luke Kennard should have played yesterday.
Absolutely.
Like, but that's neither here or there. If you see Vince Williams not giving it to you, do not be scared to put Lamar Stevens like, hey, you ain't got it, bro. Lamar, go get it. Like, throw some ish at the wall and see if it stick. If it not working, like you feel me? Like you just have to be able in these games to make those on the fly adjustments that will put you over the top. You gotta trust your gut sometimes, but if it ain't working, hey, bro, you gotta play Denver in the whole second half because Jaren, Dez in foul trouble, he not giving us nothing. Like you just gotta do it, bro. So those are my 3 do's and don'ts for the play-in game.
Yeah, I think for me, like to come out tomorrow, like number 1, your core 3 got to play 40 minutes apiece. I'm sorry, like that's not. I hope he's having that conversation. If they ain't landed already, I hope that if they on the plane, they sitting there 4 seats together, and he telling them right now, bro, y'all go ahead, icy hot it up tonight, cold bath, cold tub, whatever you got to do. Sleep on the heating pad, goddamn, stretch the night before you get in the bed. Whatever you got to do, y'all are playing 40 minutes minimum tomorrow. And I'm gonna tell you why, bro. Like I saw in that game, which he took it serious, like it was a win or go home game, and they reaped the benefits of it. The other night when we played against Anthony Edwards, and I didn't check his exact minutes, but it wasn't too many times where I looked up and he was not in that damn game, bro. And I'm sitting there like, he's basically going 1-on-3. If you look at it like from that perspective, like stars or whatever, Julius Randle, he's never consistent enough to give you what he gave you that night. He was almost just like a role player assistant in that system. But like Ant hardly ever. Do you got to pull it up, bro?
38 minutes.
It felt like it was more than that. I ain't gonna hold you. So like I'm gonna need Ja, Dez, and Jaren to be ready and focused to play 40 minutes tomorrow because we're not winning this game without y'all doing that. I'm sorry. If we do, I'll be hella surprised. And that comes with obviously Jaren not fouling, being locked in mentally. And things of that nature. They got to play that. That's number 1, non-negotiable. Number 2,
Steph gonna play 40. Steph gonna play 40 minutes.
Oh, that's a fact. Jimmy too.
Steve Kerr,
if Jimmy plays, he's going.
He's playing
for it all. Yeah. The other thing, Santi, if he's the first man off the bench, whatever, cool. If you see that Santi Aldama does not have it tomorrow night, you have to sit him for the rest of the game. Just go ahead and sit him. Don't even try to get him going because he's not that kind of player. If he starts out hot, you know you're going to get a hot Santi for the rest of the night. Typically, when he starts off cold with chucking them shots or doing all that crazy shit that he does, it's for the rest of the game, bro. He's not a guy that once he throw up a couple, he get to going. Like, that's just not his game. You got to go ahead and nip it in the bud. Say, if you don't have tonight, bro, sorry. Bagley, we need you. I won't even be mad if you throw Huff out there and see if he can spread the floor because we do need the 3-pointers. But yeah, I know. Do not let Santi Aldama lose this game. You didn't extend him over the summer for a reason, bro. And so, a lot of people expected him back. I don't, but you cannot let him kill whatever chance we got to go tomorrow. As far as the defensive schemes and things like that, obviously we cannot let them get off on threes because we can't match them, especially down Jalen Wells. Luke's not playing well. And again, if Santi ain't got it, good God, if we got to start Lamar, which I believe we do, he ain't the best 3-point shooter ever. You're not going to be able to match him. Don't try it. Get them rotations together. Get the defense back on the string. And again, it go back to effort, bro. Like, everybody was so happy about that game yesterday. It was nothing but an effort game. That's all it was. And so if they give you that, I think that you're going to come out on the other side of it. So I don't really have too many. Like I said, I just think the guys got to play 40. You can't let Santi go out there and stink up the joint, and y'all got to be locked in on the defensive end of the ball as well as getting rebounds. If y'all can do those 3 things, bro, I think you come out with the win, and you can literally sit for almost a week's time to rest up for the Houston Rockets, and you're going to need it because they're going to run the hell out you. So
I also got one more. We have to control the runs because we know in Golden State, the Warriors, they feed off the run. They feed off.
They'll take off quick.
they will take, if you get down by 12 or 15 that first quarter early, it's a hard as hell road battle to get back.
Yep.
Because you know how I get when Steph start juking and jiving and dancing and stuff, when the crowd get into it, they just start raining threes in. You try to match them for 3, you miss, they hit another one. You got to be able to control the runs. So, the Warriors will go on their runs. Like, that's no matter they're down. If you have them down by 15 in the second quarter, they're going to make a run at the end of that first half to cut the lead within single digits.
Yeah.
Either way, you cannot beat the Warriors on a competitive game with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler. 3 very experienced playoff performers if you can't control the runs. So that means on defense, knowing how to control the threes, knowing how to control the swing plays, like the turnovers and all of that. You also have to know what shots to take on offensive end, because I want to pull my hair every time I see a team playing the Warriors. Steph hits a 3 and they try to come right back down and try to match them shot for shot because they want to force a 3 to get it right back. That is not what you do against the Warriors. You have to run your system, just get a good quality shot. When you try to match the Warriors, try to get them down and play their style, you lose.
Yeah,
it's just what it is. They've made a dynasty off of playing their system and taking advantage of guys trying to play their system. We are not the Warriors. We would never play like the Warriors. Don't get in a shootout with them in Golden State with that crowd. Don't do that.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, 30 seconds or less. I want to get your quick opinion. I know we talked about last show. We feel like Coach T.I. is going to be the guy. Whether we agree that he needs to be or whatever, we both agree that he's probably going to be the coach next year.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? I've been hearing a lot of people just based off, the last couple of games saying he might be Taylor Jenkins Jr. just because there's a lot of things that's kind of rearing their ugly head. Have you leaned in a new direction, or are you still kind of leaning towards you think he's going to be the guy? Not that you're advocating for, but just has your mindset changed that he needs to be the guy?
I haven't changed at all. I genuinely feel like he will be the guy next year, and I feel like he should be. Like, yes, I'm not against doing a coaching search, like interviewing a Sam Cassell or Mike Budenholzer. He just got fired today. We didn't even talk about that. Like, he got fired today. That's another guy on the market. I'm just saying, I'm not against it.
He Jenkins final form, get it. No.
He the Pokemon evolution of Jenkins.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna pull every piece of my beard out. This mic is over here.
I'm not against it. I just want T.I. with a whole offseason to hit, like, for him to do his thing. Like, yeah, these habits are gonna rear their ugly head because the guys been playing one way the whole year. Like, the coaching is one thing, but guys are still gonna play a certain way when they've been used to it for 70 games outside the year. I feel like with a whole offseason, the whole training camp on the T.I. system, I feel like it will be a different product on the floor, like some of the time we have seen this year. So I'm still cool with T.I. coming out. I'm not against doing a coaching search, but I feel like he should and will be the guy next year.
Yeah. I'm slightly leaning towards the situation of I just hope they do this coaching search.
Yeah.
But like I said last week, if he comes out as the top guy, I'm not going to be mad. I just hope that his system, like his system around him, his assistant coaches and his staff and things like that, is bolstered up of guys that played NBA ball, prominent NBA minds, not just these bunch of, like, I never heard of Patrick St. Andrews until let's not do that. Like, let's not, no disrespect to Scootie Penn and all them other guys. Like, I've never heard of these guys, bro. Like, give me guys that are notable NBA minds, basketball minds that are known. And that's more so why I want the Sam Cassell to be the guy. I love the idea of Rajon Rondo being a part of, if you can give me Sam Cassell as the head coach and Rondo as his lead assistant or some kind of assist, man, I'm all in. I'm all in.
And I'm gonna average 40 with them dudes, bro. You got 40 with them, dog.
I would love that, bro. Sorry, T.I. Go get your go up there to Denver or Sacramento or something. I ain't gonna even hold you. Go get your bag. If we can get that. But that leads me to one last thing before we just jump on this last topic, and we'll get on that real quick and we'll get up out of here. D'Angelo was talking about if these guys go out and lose this game or these games in the play-in, that you should go ahead and fire the GM as well. I'm already of that same mindset. I wish you would do it anyway. Yeah, he got to go regardless to me. Like, this is the mess, if you want to call it a mess, is just, or the blood, it's just as much on his hands as it is on Jenkins' hands. I am sorry to tell y'all. I'm never letting him walk off or get out of the line of fire of the situation that Memphis is in this year. If you blaming Jenkins, you gotta give him just as much of the blame for what's going on. So I'm with you, bro. I would love to get him up out of here and bring somebody else that just really knows basketball as well. So, but yeah, let's jump on this last topic. Go ahead.
I agree. I think ZK got to go because I just feel like the problems that he's had, the problem that we've had, is a lot to do with roster construction, and he has not handled this roster the best way. Especially like some guys are good at drafting guys, some guys are good at trading for pieces. He's a good drafter. He's a terrible trader. Like he has not made one move since his tenure, like trading wise, that has reaped benefits, or sign that has reaped the benefits long term. If they seem to be good, you trade them away. I will always vouch for D'Anthony Melton. I hated that we got rid of him, or I don't know. I can't remember if we let him walk or trade him. Either way, I loved him. Yeah, we
traded him for David Roddy, basically.
Yeah, like I hate that. Like, and I love D Melt on this team. Like, I'm glad that we signed him, but you also let that man go. And I would love a D'Anthony Melton right now with his defense. Oh my goodness, I would love a D Melt right now. So he's just not good roster construction. So win or loss, the only way James by relation seems like Noah James Melton. That's also true. Very, very true. Because he tries to, I don't know, it comes off to me. Yeah, like he's smarter. Like he tried like that move with Dorian Finney-Smith. Like we lost that deal because ZK tried to be too smart and his ego was too dang big, and he wanted to
gives off. He got a snarky ass attitude too. Like with the whole like I'm smarter than you type. Like, oh, okay, well go F yourself. Like, all right, okay. No, I'm gonna make you look like more of a fool then.
Yeah, because your roster gonna be suffering because you can't build a relationship and make deals. Like the only way, I don't care what happens. The only way that this team, that I feel like ZK shouldn't be fired this offseason, is if we go to the West Conference Finals. That's my bar. If I don't care if we lose in the play-in or lose first or second round, the only way ZK stays here is if we go to the conference finals. That's it for me.
And I still don't think he should do it then, because it ain't because of him. Shit, he got him in a terrible position.
Yeah,
terrible position. But real quick, man, I know typically we would probably do it a little bit different. We would probably go a little bit shorter on the play-in situation, but that's the main thing at this point. So with the regular season being done at this point, the season is not over, but the regular season is over. Just talk about, man, just to wrap it up with a bow, at least the regular season. Obviously it was not nowhere, and it's crazy to say that, bro, because we won 48 ball games, but it just didn't feel like a success. So wrapping up the end of the season, real quick, I just want to add this to the palette, I should say. GG Jackson talked about his end of season wrap up after the game, just talking about basically it didn't go the way that he wanted. Coming off an injury, he thought he would come back in and dominate and add to the team. And obviously we know how that went. So shout out to him for just kind of being aware of that, and hopefully he can come this offseason healthy and get it together. We know Vince came back after the injury, couldn't get together. So like with all these pieces that we felt were going to contribute, we are where we are. We got to deal with what we got to deal with at this point. Just wrapping the regular season up, bro. If you had to give any highlights, we know the lowlights are there. We ain't got to really dig on that too much, but can you pick and choose any particular highlights moving forward from this past season that we could be, excited about going into next year? And, in these however many games we left, we got left going into the playoffs.
Number one, I have to touch on what Gigi said. I love to hear what I said. Well, I love to hear what I heard from Gigi. Like Gigi, he's such a good kid, bro. Like he's very faith-centered, and I'm glad he was so vulnerable with the media to say how he's been feeling throughout the whole year, because we've seen it on the floor. Like we've seen it through his space. We've seen that he has been dealing with some stuff mentally, just with confidence and finding his role, finding his groove in the team. So gotta give a shout out to Gigi. I still believe in you. I know Chris believes in you. This just probably wasn't the season that God had planned for you to have that breakout season, but with a whole off season with you being healthy in training camp, starting the season, I feel like you're poised to have a great career. So I just want to say that. Shout out Gigi. So coming to positives, of course, the first one kind of mine is Jalen Wilson and Zach Edey. No one expect a number 39 pick Jalen Wilson to be as good as he was this early. So as much as I talk about ZK, that was a good draft pick by ZK. But like I said, he's a good drafter. Edey, for 60 to 55% of the season, Edey looked great. But there was a very 30 to 40% in there. He looked terrible.
Right.
Because say what you want, I feel like TJ just made the call, was like, hey, I ain't rocking with this dude, and he kind of just buried on the end of the bench and like didn't know how to use him. So
Right.
I still gotta say Edie, because Edie has been headstrong the whole year. He's been healthy for dang near the whole year too, and that was a big concern. People like, oh, he's too big, he's too slow. Like Edie has had a all rookie type year. Like
Yeah.
with all the ups and downs he's been through, being buried on the bench, starting, not starting, playing behind certain people. Like I still give Edie damn near an A this year. So gotta shout out the rookies. Number 2, Ja, just the last quarter of the season, just being Ja Morant again. Like Ja was frustrated. We all saw that he dealt with injuries. I feel like there was some times where he wanted to play and the franchise didn't allow him to play. When your superstar seems happy, I feel like that's a plus. No matter what happens at the end of the season, your superstar being happy is the number one thing. And I will always say, I don't care who you say should be the best player, who should be the leader, yada, yada, yada. Ja Morant is money. Ja Morant's the franchise. I mean, he's playing good and he's feeling good. This team will always be a contender. So I'm glad we righted the Ja Morant ship, because I had some guys saying like, oh, Ja Morant gonna ask for a trade, and I like, no, Ja Morant's not gonna ask for a trade. Especially now, he's not, because he has a coach that actually knows how to use him properly. So
Right.
gotta give a shout out to 12 on that. And my third one, what will be my third positive I can think of one? Because Dez has been up and down. Jaren played great for the first half of the season, then he fell off. Well, I'm gonna say fell off, but his play decreased a little bit.
Yeah.
Vince was hurt. Gigi was hurt. Dang, bro. Trying to think what if I say anybody, it'll probably Pip.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm glad I was wrong about Pip.
That's a fact.
The jury is still, at least in my like Pip, he's like 95% sold me. Like he still got, if he plays good in playoffs, he had me completely sold as my point guard, my backup point guard for the next few years. Because I like going into this season, I said, dang, I'm gonna miss. It has been a crazy year, very crazy year. In my head, I always said, hey, I want Tyus Jones back, because he even lost the starting job in Phoenix, which was
That was
crazy.
wild, bro.
He signed a 1-year deal only to start. He lost the starting job. So I was like, oh, I want Stones back. Or like the bias fan in me said, hey, I want Mike Conley get a buyout. He can be our backup point guard for the next like maybe year. Or I had those two.
I still want that.
I
still want that. I ain't gonna hold you.
I don't 1 or 2 year deal with us and be our But anyway, those two like scenarios has been dumped down on my list a lot more because the player Scottie Pippen Jr. So I just shout out Scott. Like out of all the controversy he's been through this whole year, people saying he shouldn't be playing. Me and you talked extensively about if he deserved a full contract or not. So and he's better himself and played well. So if those be my 3 bright spots, it would be those 3 guys. And of course, you can say get rid of Taylor Jenkins, but you can that's a topic for another day. We can talk about that at the end of the season if we really think like the timing, like whatever. But you know, I don't want to say that right now. Even though I like that we fired him, I'm still up in there about like the timing and all that. But whatever. But those would be my 3.
All I gotta say to that is shit, because that's my first one. Glad he's gone. Glad that era is over. We ain't gotta talk about this shit no more. Like we finally have moved on to get these guys back to playing, or hopefully in a spot to where we can be serious about contending. Obviously, we talked about roster issues and things like that. We all know about the job situation with injuries and being away from the team. We get all of that, but finally, that with 365 days removed from all of that or more at this point from the suspensions. John's healthy. He's back to himself, like you said. But more important than anything, that guy that has embedded 6 years of terrible basketball habits, unserious basketball habits, is gone. Good riddance. That's my number 1. Number 2, we have a glimpse of what our core 3 can look like. Obviously, it's not been up to par on a consistent basis, but we have seen them guys have in spurts of the season, maybe not all at the same time, very successful stretches. And if we can find a way, again, talking about having a off season to where we can actually get a basketball mind in here and set up ways where these guys can be more productive together, I think that's something that you definitely want to look forward to as a fan. You know, yes, we can break down, you know, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas of them, you know, doing things on their own. But at the end of the day, the coach is there for a reason, and him getting those guys involved together is gonna. I mean, I don't give a damn, bro. Like, we're not going to win a championship if those guys don't get integrated and optimized together. That's just never going to happen. And if they don't, obviously, you're going to have to move off from somebody. And I'm perfectly fine to have that conversation at some point, as long as we're not talking about number 12. Like, we can discuss it. Everybody's on sale except for number 12. That's how I look at it. So that would be my number 2. And my number 3 is going to be the young guys. I know I'm kind of stealing your thunder with that one, but, you know, one thing that I like is the whole idea that we do have two cores. We got the main core and then we got the young core between Jalen, Edie, and Gigi. I keep talking about it. Like, that's very exciting to have those 3 or those 2 separate groups. But I think it's very important, though, that you find 2 main guys that can bridge those 2 cores. You need 2 vets that can bridge that. I understand that. Even from Jaws' perspective, he said after a game maybe a week or 2 ago that, like, they are the vets, they are the leaders. I'm not going to downplay that by no means, because this is their team. You know, I get that part. But at the same time, teams that win have experienced veterans on that squad. Like, I don't know how much he played a part in that championship as far as off the court. But DeAndre Jordan is a champion because he was on that Denver team. Am I mistaken?
Yeah,
he was there. Uncle Jeff, he was on that team. Guy that's been bounced around. Obviously, we know what KCP has. You know, he's a former champion himself. But like, they surrounded those guys with veteran players, bro. You got your core, but you surround them with veteran players. It helped bridge that gap with Christian Braun and MPJ and all of that. So, like, for us, we got to have those 2 key veterans, because at the end of the day, when you go in the playoffs, you should be only playing 8 guys anyway. So if next year Gigi takes that leap that we all know and feel like he can take, taking a series off season and getting in locked in with a coaching staff, Jalen Wells putting on muscle, watching film, his body's now going to be prepared to. Well, it was really prepared this year. If it wasn't for stupid ass Simpson knocking him out the air, man, almost played 82 games, bro. Like, he's going to be able to sustain his success for 82 games next year. Maybe even, he may grow an extra inch tall or whatever, but adding more to his game, let a coach in here that's going to allow him to flourish, not just to be a 3-and-D role player. Maybe he can get some mid-range shots and things like that. And then obviously Edie. Like, we've never seen Jenkins develop a big man. We got the biggest dude in the draft last year. So getting him with somebody that can actually work with him this offseason, advance his skills that we obviously see he has. I think I heard Zebo talking about he wanted to get in the lab with Jaren this offseason. Hey, don't leave my boy Edie out.
Edie an invitation, bro. Please send Edie an invitation.
Jaren gonna need somebody to play against and practice against. Might as well be Edie. You know what I'm saying? So
he ain't gonna play against no one else that big in the damn league. So might as well get the biggest dude in the league. Shoot.
I really wish he could get with Mark. I really wish Mark would come down here with Zebo and just put them guys in like the grit and grind big man camp or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I could really see Edie becoming a really good passer. I can really see him being a hub. He may not be the goodest shooter as Mark and dribbler and things like that, but like, I can see him taking facets really of both of their game to round it out. So like I said, those 3 young guys, if you can connect them to the main core with 2 key solid veterans, bro, I really think that next year is a breakout season for the Grizzlies, but you got to play it right. And again, it's going to be up to climbing. He talking about absolute urgency. I heard your word salad before. If you're still here, go get those 2 guys, bro, please. And I know it's going to be tough because Santi is on, he's up for a contract. Sign and trade him if you can, please. Hopefully BC's looking decent. If you got to move him in a young piece, do what you got to do. But get my guys what they need, bro. Like, we're close. We close. And we passed the BS. We passed the petty stuff. D'Angelo said, how is TA not on the coaching staff? Jenkins doesn't want a basketball mind with him. That's why. Yeah. But he's gone. So, again, you bring in a Sam Cassell or somebody else, we might have Tony Allen on the squad. He was working on it before he had his little situation. He was helping out with the hustle. So, he was close. But, Jenkins.
I feel like of all the guys we just mentioned, I feel like TA probably most likely to be a coach because he's
for sure.
We know he's always around the team. Like he's in the Grind City media warehouse or studios once a week anyway. Like
he'll be there tomorrow, probably.
Like, he'll be on tomorrow. Like he's always around. Like if T.I. and hopefully ZK is serious about like, yo, we need another veteran like aspect or basketball mind. I don't care how crazy T.A. is. T.A. gonna curse everybody up, but he gonna get the boys playing some damn defense. Like T.A. may get a tech on the bench because he acting crazy, but he gonna have them boys playing hard. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is a grit and grind kid, like being biased, but I would like to think being around let's say T.A. is a coach. So having someone that lived during that time, or that was in the middle, that was a pivotal part of that era, and putting that into this generation, I can only see good things happening. Yeah, we know that the Grizz next gen era is more talented than the grit and grind era. May remove me from the stream.
My bad, bro.
No, that's all good. No, but we all know the grit and grind era means so much to the city for a various amount of reasons. It's because the energy and the effort they play with, to your point earlier. I would just like to think having TA day in and day out, talking to Josh, talking to Jaren, talking to Dez. He'd be like, yo, you see my jersey up there? You see my with Mark and Zebo?
Yeah,
y'all could be that, if not better, if y'all dial in the last few things. So
right,
I don't know. I would love to see that. I don't know how close it is. Hopefully something happens. Hopefully T.I. brings a whole new group of guys in with him, with guys that he picked, and him and ZK collaborate on who they want, so we can find a very good coaching staff next year. But we'll see.
Yep.
Exactly my point, D'Angelo.
That's all they lacking.
That's all it is, bro.
That's all they lacking. And I'm talking about collectively, because the way Job in, like, I can't really ask him too much to. Yeah. We always talk about he's the engine. He's picked up defense this year. We got to get them guys collectively on the same page of just grinding it out, bro. But yeah, that's really all we got today, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us, for sure. Tomorrow gonna be a big one, man. Tomorrow is gonna be huge. I think, like I said, it's imperative that they come out, go ahead and handle business. I know they have not won a game in California all season. That does not matter. It is time to break the streak and get back and get some rest, bro. Do not mess around and get into that matchup with, I'm telling you, it's gonna be the Kings. If they lose to the Mavs, I ain't gonna lie. If the Kings lose to the Mavs, bro, they need to go and just move the team. Just move the team. Just move it.
Move the team. You telling me to relocate from Sacramento? That's what you said.
Please, because this will be just the worst season ever. Like, you just got your team good in the last 3 years. You fire the coach, trade the star player, and then you lose to the Mavericks in a 9-10 game in the play-in. Like, that's just an all-time low, bro. All-time low. So
we'll see, bro.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. Hey, Courtney Williams, we appreciate you. Oh, wrong one. Appreciate you tapping in, my guy. We do this every Monday, man. So you can definitely tap in with us and all the other shows on the network for sure, man. But we definitely appreciate you tapping in with us for sure. We will not be in. Appreciate you for bringing this up, though, D'Angelo. We will not be at the live watch party, but it is for those that don't know, it will be a live Bluff City Media watch party going on tomorrow. Please tap in on the Twitter page to get the exact details on that. But we want to make sure y'all get that information. You'll be able to actually meet some of the personalities on the network in person. They're gonna have drink specials, all kind of things like that. And I'm gonna tell you this: if we can get past this play-in situation, because we were supposed to be kind of doing these in the playoffs, I believe, as well, I'm gonna make it down. For a couple. I am too.
Just to let y'all know, it is 7:00 Central Time. Well, Memphis time is only Central Time. A raffle. There will be a raffle for second row seats to a playoff game. It's at Ghost River Brewing, 827 South Main Street, Memphis, Tennessee, 38016. That is in Cordova. If y'all don't know what part of town that is,
give it to him one more time, my boy. One more time, that address.
827 South Main Street, Memphis, Tennessee, zip code 38106. Ghost River Brewing Company. There will be a raffle for second round playoffs, second row seats play up to a playoff game, $5 draft, $6 cocktails, full kitchen. It's a real nice spot. Me and my dad and my brother, we've been there before. It's a real nice spot. So you'll meet Kenny, Sane, everybody on the BCM network. We wish we could be there. Unfortunately, we got obligations in other parts of Tennessee. Well, I'm not in Tennessee, but other parts of the South.
Yep.
But yeah, if they have another one, hey, you never know. If they have another watch party or
we both only 3 hours away. That ain't nothing.
We both only 3 hours away, so it ain't nothing. It's hopefully a playoff game fall on a weekend. If playoff game fall on a week, like game 4 in the first round fall on the weekend, hey man, y'all might see your boys. You know,
Yeah,
never know.
we're back in the city for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, well, shout out to Travaloria, man. Appreciate you tapping in with us too, man. We really do appreciate you for real. First time tuning in. That's what it's all about, man. We really appreciate y'all support, especially late at night. I know it probably ain't nothing else on Talking Grizz Ball right now, but man, we appreciate y'all for real. Y'all could be doing anything else. So we're gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all enjoy y'all night. Like we always say this week, make sure y'all do something that puts a smile on your face, that makes you happy. Because damn, everything else is going on in the world, man. That's all that matters at this point. We had to do that a lot this season with a lot of the drama and the ups and downs. But man, at this point, I don't think nobody wants anything more in the next 24 hours for us to be able to celebrate the Grizzlies finally just getting out of this playoff situation. They know who they're gonna play and move forward and root them guys on to see what we can, knock out for the rest of the season, man. So anything else you got, my boy, before we get out of here?
Nah, I just want to say we appreciate y'all for tuning in with us for a whole season. Like, this is our first time doing a whole season. Last year we started in March with only 30-something games left. It was around there. But this is our first time doing the whole season. We've seen growth in the numbers, and y'all have given us feedback and support. So we just say appreciate y'all for that. Hopefully this ain't the last episode of the season this year. So hopefully, knock on wood, is not. I'll be very sad. I know Chris will be too if this is the last episode. We just want to say I appreciate y'all. I also just want to say if somebody on the LSU football team recently took their own life, I just want to say mental health is very important for men and women. Chris, like Chris said, we always say do something to make you feel good. If you're not feeling good, talk to somebody. I don't know the young man, because I know he's a very controversial figure, not just because of what he did, because of the crime he committed, but either way, that's someone that took their own life. And I just want to say, talk to somebody. Mental health is very important. Me and Chris are very big advocates of mental health for men, women, everybody. So if this makes you feel good, appreciate you, Cozy. If this makes you feel good, listen to us, listen to whoever, do whatever you do makes you feel good, and talk to people, because we only get one life to live, and you don't want to lose it, especially by your own hand. So that was on my heart. I've been tapped in my scripture a lot, so that maybe I'm feeling a little spiritual right now, but just
we need that, bro.
Very important. And when I saw that, if y'all know who it is, y'all can look up the LSU player. I don't want to put it more out there, but when I saw that just hurt me a little bit, So that's been on my spirit. I just want everybody to be happy. Let's watch tomorrow's game with smile on our faces, with good energy, good vibes. Send it to the team. If you're going down, watch party, please be safe. If you're drinking, get an Uber, just be safe, bro. It's gonna be a wild night. It's gonna be a late night tip. The game starts at 9. We're gonna be there at 7, but the game starts at 9. So just be safe. Come out to work, get your drink on, but be safe and just have a good time. I just want to put that message out there.
Man, appreciate you, man. I wish I would have had the organ, my organ sound bite ready, man, because we definitely needed that. We definitely, like you said, everything going on, and then even going into tomorrow, man. Yeah, positive energy all the way around, man. So, appreciate that, Evan, for real. No jokes aside, bro, for real. But we're gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all stay safe this week. We'll catch y'all. No matter what, we'll be back next week. I just hope it ain't the last game we're talking about. We will be back next week, man. So we'll see y'all next Monday. Take care of yourself. And as we always say,
thank you for listening to this episode of the No Bluffing Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of all things Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.